Aquaman. The movie begins with Tom, a lighthouse keeper, discovering an unconscious woman washed ashore during a violent storm. She's clutching a trident even in her unconscious state. He carries her inside, and when she wakes up, she's terrified and attacks him with the weapon. Tom stays calm, telling her to relax. She passes out again from exhaustion. When she wakes the second time, she's starving and eats his pet fish raw. Tom just offers her tea like it's the most normal thing in the world. She introduces herself as Atlanta, Queen of Atlantis, running from an arranged marriage. Against all odds, they fall in love and have a son named Arthur. Their happiness doesn't last long. Atlantean soldiers storm the lighthouse under King Orvax's orders to take her back. Tom hides baby Arthur while Atlanta fights off every single soldier, but she knows they'll keep coming. To protect her family, she has to return to Atlantis. Before she leaves, she promises Tom she'll come back when it's safe. Then she's gone, leaving Tom to raise Arthur alone. Years pass, and Arthur grows up different from other kids. At school, bullies mock him for talking to fish. During a field trip to an aquarium, a shark slams against the glass, seemingly protecting Arthur. He remains completely calm, somehow connected to the creature. Everyone realizes Arthur belongs to another world. Fast forward to the present. Pirates hijack a submarine in the deep ocean, but something slams into them hard. The lights flicker out, and panic spreads. A powerful figure boards the vessel. It's Arthur, now known as Aquaman. He tears through the pirates, freeing the hostages. Manta attacks, but gets overpowered. His father, Jesse, fires a powerful weapon at Arthur, barely stunning him. Arthur recovers instantly, injuring Jesse with a steel pipe. As Arthur leaves, Jesse fires again, but misses, hitting the submarine instead. Water floods in, and a massive gas tank crushes Jesse's leg. Manta desperately tries to free his father, begging Arthur for help. But Arthur refuses coldly, saying Jesse killed innocent people and deserves no mercy. Jesse looks into his son's eyes one last time and tells him to survive so he can kill Aquaman. He activates a grenade, sacrificing himself as the sub explodes. Manta survives, but something inside him dies with his father. Now, he only wants revenge. Arthur returns to shore and meets Tom at their usual bar. News reports are calling him a hero, but Arthur shrugs it off. Tom reminds him he's meant for something greater, to unite the surface and Atlantis. Arthur explodes, saying Atlantis took his mother from them and killed her for loving a human. Tom tries to comfort him, but Arthur's guilt never left. Some bar patrons recognize him and excitedly ask for selfies. Deep underwater in Atlantis, Arthur's half-brother Orm meets with King Nereus of Zebel. Orm argues that humans are a growing threat, bringing submarines dangerously close to their world. He wants a preemptive strike on the surface. Nereus disagrees, believing humans will destroy themselves. Orm insists humanity will eventually target Atlantis. Suddenly, a submarine attacks them, killing some of their men. Orm destroys it single-handedly. The attack convinces Nereus to join Orm's alliance against humanity. Back at the bar, a woman named Mira approaches Arthur as he's leaving. She urgently tells him Orm is planning war, and he needs to come to Atlantis. Arthur refuses, saying he owes nothing to the people who killed his mother. Mira explains that only Arthur can stop Orm by claiming his rightful place as king, using the lost trident of King Atlan. Arthur laughs, saying Orm would never give up the throne willingly. Despite her persistence, he drives away. Meanwhile, Orm meets with Manta, revealing he staged the submarine attack. As Arthur drives Tom home, birds flee the coastline, and a massive tsunami barrels toward them. Arthur floors the gas, but the wave overtakes them. Before disaster strikes, Mera appears, using her powers to create an air pocket. Arthur pulls his unconscious father from the wreck. Mera revives Tom, then reveals Orm caused the tsunami as a warning. She says worse is coming. This time, Arthur reluctantly agrees to go to Atlantis. Arriving in Atlantis, Arthur is stunned by the underwater city's grandeur. Mera takes him to Volko, who explains the tsunami is just the beginning. If Orm secures 2 more kingdoms, he'll control the largest army in the ocean and become Ocean Master. The only way to stop him is for Arthur to challenge Orm and take the throne using King Atlan's trident. Volko explains the trident was forged for Atlan, the first ruler of Atlantis. The kingdom once thrived on the surface before their ambition destroyed them. A catastrophic experiment sank Atlantis to the ocean floor. The Atlanteans evolved to breathe underwater, while others mutated into monsters. Atlan disappeared into exile with the trident. Volko shows them an ancient recorder containing Atlan's final message and the trident's location, but it needs special equipment from the Deserter Kingdom to play. Before Arthur can take it, Orm's soldiers ambush them. Arthur battles the attackers while Mera and Volko retreat. He's overpowered and captured. Orm is surprised to see Arthur in Atlantis. Arthur declares he's come to end Orm's war. Orm accepts the challenge, despite protests from Mera and Volko. Orm lays out the stakes. If Arthur wins, Orm relinquishes the throne. If he loses, Arthur dies. Volko visits Arthur and scolds him for falling into Orm's trap, warning that underwater combat is completely different from fighting on land. The duel begins before a crowd of Atlanteans. Arthur struggles initially, but lands a few strikes. Orm quickly gains the upper hand. Just as he's about to deliver the killing blow, Mera intervenes, trapping Orm in an air pocket. She arrives with her ship, urging Arthur to escape. They flee, but Orm pursues them. Despite Orm destroying their ship, Arthur and Mera hide inside a massive sea creature's mouth. Arthur communicates with it to secure their safety. Believing them dead, Orm withdraws. Mera tells Arthur they must travel to the Sahara Desert to play Atlan's recording. Meanwhile, Orm's men discover Mera's bracelet, transmitting a signal from the desert. Orm meets with Manta, giving him advanced weapons and assigning him to hunt down Arthur and Mera. In the desert, Arthur and Mera discover the Deserter Kingdom's entrance within a temple. When they activate the recorder, King Atlan's hologram appears, describing the trident's power to unite land and sea. He reveals the path lies beyond the hidden sea, accessible via a chart in a bottle. A bottle emerges from the temple floor with a map pointing to Italy. In Italy, Arthur places the bottle in a specific statue's hand, revealing their next destination. Manta ambushes them, injuring Arthur. While Mera fights Orm's soldiers, Arthur battles Manta in an intense fight. Manta reveals Mera's bracelet contains a tracker. Mera kills the soldiers. Arthur defeats Manta, who crashes into rocks and falls into the sea. Exhausted, Arthur collapses. Mera smashes the bracelet as Arthur passes out. In Atlantis, Orm approaches the Fisherman Kingdom for their army. King Riku refuses, so Orm kills him and forces his heir to prepare for war. Arthur awakens on a small boat. Mera explains they're heading to the Kingdom of the Trench, where Atlanta was supposedly executed. Mera warns the Trench is a realm of death. Arthur suggests turning back, doubting he can become king. Mera expresses her belief in him, saying he's destined to unite both worlds. As they approach, monstrous trench creatures ambush them. They use flares to repel the attackers and dive into the water, searching for the portal to the hidden sea. When they find it, Mera warns they cannot pass through together, but Arthur refuses to leave her. The portal's energy violently separates them. Mera loses consciousness and drifts toward the hidden sea, nearly devoured before being rescued. Mera wakes on the shore, where her savior removes their helmet. It's Atlanta, Arthur's mother. Moments later, Arthur arrives, equally shocked. Overcome with emotion, Arthur embraces her, demanding to know how she survived. Atlanta explains that while Orvax condemned her to death in the trench, she fought and escaped. Arthur blames himself, but she assures him it wasn't his fault. She asks about Tom, and Arthur tells her he still waits every morning. Atlanta explains she couldn't return because the portal is one way. Only the trident can leave, but it's guarded by the Carathan. She directs him to a hidden waterfall. Arthur ventures behind the waterfall and finds King Atlan's skeleton clutching the trident. The Carathan emerges, declaring Arthur unworthy and tossing him around mercilessly. On the brink of death, Arthur pleads, admitting he knows he's unworthy, but needs the trident to save his people. The Carathan is stunned by his honesty. Sensing potential, the Carathan allows Arthur to prove himself. Arthur grabs the trident, and its power flows through him, marking him as the true King of Atlantis. Arthur returns triumphantly to Mira and Atlanta. Meanwhile, Orm discovers Volko's betrayal and orders his arrest. Orm leads Nereus and the Fisherman's army to the Brine Kingdom, demanding their alliance. When the Brine King refuses, Orm threatens to kill him. Suddenly, a massive Carathan appears, with Arthur riding it, wielding Atlan's trident. The armies are in awe. Using the trident's power, Arthur summons sea creatures to defeat Orm's forces. Mira shows Nereus the trident as proof of Arthur's legitimacy. Nereus commands his soldiers to stand down, proclaiming Arthur their king. Arthur lures Orm to the surface for their final duel. Despite Orm's strength, Arthur's determination and mastery with the trident allow him to overpower his brother. With Orm disarmed and defeated, Arthur demands he yield. Orm refuses, insisting Arthur must kill him. Arthur declines. As Orm continues taunting, Atlanta appears, halting the fight. Orm is stunned to see his mother alive. She embraces him, calling for an end to the feud, explaining that land and sea are meant to coexist. Volko arrives to take Orm into custody. Mira announces Arthur as the new King of Atlantis. The armies erupt in celebration. The next morning, Tom walks to the docks as he has every day. To his amazement, he finds Atlanta waiting for him. Overwhelmed with joy, he embraces her. Together, they look out at the ocean, united as a family once more, as Arthur assumes his rightful place as King of Atlantis, bridging the worlds of land and sea. Thanks for watching till the end. Your support keeps us going and helps us bring more awesome stories to life. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for the next movie on Addict Recap.